What it do, baby? It's your boy JJ here, and today we're gonna be going through an East G type beat. I made this beat for him, and I'm like, you know what? It's kind of hard here, so let me just a video on top of that. Also, before we get into this, of course, real quick, like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's get into the video. Firstly, for the melody, we have a string from Expand 2, and it's called Legato Tremolo MW. Very, very basic pattern, as you guys can see. Just it repeats every 2 bars. I don't know why I messed with the velocity for the root note, but apparently I did. This is what it sounds like. And that's what it sounds like. And literally for effects, all I did was have an EQ on the top and cutting out all the lows. Then I also panned it a bit to the left and added a bit of stereo separation to it, around 36%. Next up, we have another preset from Expand 2, big surprise, and it's called Big Strings. Oh, the pun wasn't intended there, but hey, so Big Strings we got out here. Very, very basic pattern that repeats every 2 bar, and this is what it sounds like. Bing Bada Booming, that's your strings for the amigo. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'll be securing the bag if I was. For presets, I put on a filter. For presets, I put on an EQ, cutting out all the lows, a few of the highs. Then whacked on a low filter as well to remove a few of the highs. An RC20 and a Valhalla Vintage Verb. Then I panned it to the right by a bit and I stereo separated it around 66%. And next up, I got a preset from Expand 2 yet again. As you can see, Expand 2 is a very common plugin used, but it's very good for these beats. Pretty Chimes preset, of course. And then I lay down a pattern which switches every 2 bar. Again, repetitive, simple, because you have 2 types of ECG beats. You have the super messed up complex ones. Messed up, I mean, it's super nuts, bad kind of crazy. It goes brazy. And then you have the super simple ones which go brazy. And I'm taking the simple brazy kind of aspect, if you know what I mean.
Like, let me not even lie to you, like, you're just waffling bad. Like.
And this is what this sounds like. For effects, I added a stereo shaper to widen the sound, an EQ cutting off some highs and lows, and of course some Valhalla Vintage Verb. Then next up in the beat, I added a piano. Oh, wait a minute. Then next up in the beat, I added a piano. It's a Japanese init preset from Piano V2. And then I laid down this repeating pattern, which repeats every 2 bars, you guys can see. The only variation, I think, well, it repeats every 2 bar. I messed with the velocities a bit by Alt-R'ing it, and this is what it sounds like. Nice and simple, does the job. Then I added an EQ, cutting out a few frequencies I didn't like, a lot of lows, a lot of highs. You know the gist. Then an RC20 and then some Valhalla Vintage Verb. And I panned it a bit to the right and stereo separated it a bit again, so not all the noises are kind of like mixed up in the mix. And then lastly, from the same preset, I just made a little root node bassline pattern kind of thing going here. I just lowered the velocity on this a bit by control drag and then mouse wheel. And this is what it sounds like. Right, that's the pattern, and for effects, I literally just whacked an EQ on top of it. And then what I did, as you guys can hear, I whacked on this preset side chin kick A onto all of the melodies and all the different melody components within the beat. And I turned this automation on and off throughout the beat just to give it a better variation. If you hear a lot of the same sounds throughout the whole beat, you want a bit of a switch up and I still clean a little bit of freshness to the ear. So I thought this would do the job quite well. And now I'm going to show you guys sections of the melody. As you guys can see real quick, I didn't play all the melody together at all at any part throughout the whole beat, because I thought it would be nice to space it out throughout the beat, give it a bit of variation. And this is what it sounds like. Hey, and as you see, the melody is nice, spaced out, a little bit of variation, sounds great, crisp. And if you're listening through it through headphones, which I highly recommend, listen to it through headphones, you will hear how all the sounds are kind of spaced out, left, right, panning, all that jazz, because we know we go the extra mile out here. Now to the drums. Each G usually has like two kinds of drums again. Just super crazy, all in your face madness, and you're like, whoa. Or kind of like simple, but hitting hard like trap, and you're like, damn. So first of all, we got a nice snare, nice and crisp, and this is what it sounds like. Nice and crispy, exactly what we looked for. Next up, we got a basic two-step hi-hat, because like that's it. It's a simple beat that goes hard, so two-step. Hey, and it's nice and crisp. Of course, you want to make sure you have good drum selection. Keep that in mind. Next up, we got a kick pattern, and I used the rack kick, took it down a semitone, and I maxed out the velocity. It makes it hit twice as hard, and that's just how it is. And this is what the kick pattern sounds like. Boom. Next up, we have a counter snare pattern. I took another snare and I laid out a few rolls using the half step, and roll here, roll there, and a little counter snare here. And this is what the counter snare sounds like. Nice, crisp. It'll be really, really good together with the whole beat. And last but not least, we got the 808s. And what I did was played the root notes that came with the rack kick, and then some of it had a little upper G note, you know what I mean? You know, without a kick, because it gives it a little bit more bounce. So this is what the kick this is what the 808 pattern sounds like. And that's the 808 pattern. Now it's time to hit all the drums together in one big take. And now you guys have made it to the end of the tutorial. I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We're almost at 300. Making moves, making progress, you know, a little bit of a Euro step at 300. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. You'll hear the beat at the end of it, and have a great week. See ya.